a good time. Put a smile on your face, yeah. KB Cam and Elation Radio. Even brighten your day and help you through the night. Bringing you good music. KB Cam and Elation Radio. And here's your host, KB Cam.
Happy Saturday, happy Saturday, happy Saturday. Thank you for joining Next Level with Trinae. I am so super happy that you are spending 60 minutes, give or take, of your 1,440 minutes of your Saturday with me. This month of March is Women's History Month, and a few days ago, we just celebrated International Women's Month. I had a conversation with I had a conversation a couple of days ago about these 2 days in particular, and about how the United States has so many of these made up holidays or made up celebration days throughout the month. But these 2 days I can get with as a woman who appreciates and is living on the lifestyle of women's rights, although I don't necessarily agree that actually belongs with feminism. So Women's History Month starts March 1st and ends on March 31st of every year. And when we look at the history of Women's History Month, it was jumped off from the 14th Amendment. I don't know that you guys know that. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a history lesson. And, of course, you can call in and talk it, and we can chop it up, or you can call in and say, hey. So this all started from the 14th Amendment that was passed in 1868. And this 14th Amendment was intended to give former slaves equal protection and voting rights under the law. It was never, ever, ever meant to protect women. In fact, it didn't equal it specified equality for male slaves. Female slaves were excluded, and all women. Female slaves were excluded, and as were all women. Now, the verbiage that comes along with that is weird to me because a woman is a woman, whether she was a slave or whether she be free. So that little verbiage, the way that that's written, is kind of weird to me. So when the 14th Amendment came along, and this was air quote giving slaves, men slaves equality, and it didn't benefit women at all. Women of Caucasian women were of the expectation that this would eventually support them, and it didn't. As the 14th Amendment took a lot of different steps and bounds, it picked up steam along the way for women and for the LGBTQ, I'm sure I'm forgetting some letters, community. So all of this was surrounded around the 14th Amendment and women having the rights. Women's History Month, it started a year after International Women's Day, which actually started, Women's History Month was first, and then International Women's Day was in 1911. The difference between the two is, of course, one is a day and one is a month. And the other thing is Women's History Month is more so surrounded in the strides that American women have made in the country and in the world. Well, more so in the country. As scientists, as doctors, lawyers, business owners, it more so speaks to those strides that women have made in the United States, whereas International Women's Day speaks to international strides that women have made in the entire world. Women's History Month actually started as a day. It was only a week. And with that week, it was just a week of women wanting to be recognized for doing the same levels. They wanted to be recognized as being able to do the same type of things that men were able to do. It wasn't necessarily in the workforce right away, but women wanted the ability to own land and to get credit in their name. And I know credit in their name because I know women in their late 60s and 70s, and that was, upon speaking to them, that was a thing that was important to them. They had husbands, and their credit cards had to have his name on it, although she was out there working in the field, or not working in the field or working a job like he was, but he was the one who was listed as the owner of the credit. So Women's History Month was intentionally just a day, and then it moved into a week, and then it moved into what we have now. I think it was about in 1984 when this really became very serious, and this was around the time that women's rights were really beginning to pick up steam in the United States based on that 14th Amendment that was originally back in the 1800s. So you see how this is all going together? When you think about how the Constitution of the United States was written, it was written by men, Caucasian men, that wanted to support their rights that they felt that they didn't get from another country. But they forgot, neglected, or could care less to add women into protecting and having rights for it. So all of these 2 days are important to me right now, and they've become more and more important as I've become older, as I've grown and as I've stepped into the business world, stepped into writing, have a daughter of my own, have sisters, have granddaughters. This day has been, this time period has become super important to me. I feel an importance because women are doing great things. We are doing the same jobs that men are doing, but we are not getting the equal level of pay. And then the other part of the equal pay and the equal levels of work is that women of color could be in the same office with a Caucasian woman and with a Caucasian man, and she's doing more work than than anybody in the group, but she's getting less pay. And this is not the lifestyle that I want for my daughter to have, for my sisters to have, and for my granddaughters to have. So now we'll step into the importance of sisterhood and feminism. So this is a lot to absorb, right? Because I'm going through this super fast. So of course, feminism was more than just burning bras. This was a time period where women were really stepping out in strength and in force because they wanted to be able to they wanted to do the same jobs that men were allowed to do. They wanted to make the same type of money. The feminist movement, me personally, and this is my thought, my feelings around this whole entire thing of feminism, because I would say I'm a hybrid of feminism. I believe that, yes, if there's a job that I want to do as an entrepreneur, I should be able to do that. And because of my gender, that should not prevent that from happening. But my thought on feminism is feminism killed femininity, and it changed womanhood. And how it changed womanhood, because when you think of how women used to be, how we were available to our children to nourish and nurture them, we're no longer available at that level because we're out in the workforce. And it's also my opinion, maybe not anybody else's, and it's probably not a very popular opinion, because we are inside the workforce, proven that we deserve to be here. Our families are suffering. There are so many single mothers now than there ever have been before, all because we want to prove that we deserve to be in a workforce. Our children are suffering, our families are suffering, and our communities are suffering, right? So this is me. This is my thought. So as a sister, as an older sister of two younger sisters, as a sister of sister friends, as a sister of sisters in business, sisterhood is important so that we can come alongside each other and support growth, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, because that's what builds community, right? What do you think the world would be like if we didn't feel like we had the need to compete with one another as women anymore? Think about it. Prior to social media, the only competition we had, if we chose to compete, were our neighbors, people who we could immediately see, women in the workplace because we are connected to them. Now we have social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn. We have so many other women that we could look to either compete with, to support their growth, or just grow right along with them, right? The importance of sisterhood, because women are the givers of life, period, hands down. Imagine a workplace with no woman. How would that workplace be? You couldn't even imagine it right now because women have been in the workplace so long. Look at the things that we have brought into the workspace. And then think of those things that we've brought into the workplace that we've taken out from our home. Think of the trade-off that we've had by stepping out into a space, into the marketplace. Prove something to somebody else that I deserve to be here. But here's the thing. You don't have to prove it to anybody. See it in you that you deserve to be here. You deserve to be in the workplace. You deserve to be in business. You deserve the things that you work for. But your only competition with that is you. Every time you get up, sister, get up. Divine femininity that God created within you. And look yourself in that mirror. Look yourself in the eye in the mirror, because so many of us don't do that. We look at the mirror, but we don't look at ourselves in the mirror. Because with the moment that you can do that, your perspective is going to change. Because you will begin to see you the way that other people see you. Good, better, and different. You'll begin to see you. You'll begin to trace back those things that hurt you, harm you, and put you in a position where you're scratching and gnawing to be seen or to be heard in a marketplace or in a workplace or in a space that you may not even actually fit in. Sisterhood is important because sometimes you don't see that spark within you. Sometimes that sister you have sees that spark within you to push you to move forward or to shake you to get your mind right. The importance of sisterhood is to help you get some clarity, to help you get some focus, to help you flow into understanding who you are, whose you are, what direction you need to be going. Sisterhood is important to block out what I call the environment. That's your surrounding. The noise is stopping you from hearing the inside. That is stopping you from hearing your heart speaking to you to move forward, to stop, to go, to speed up. So, in the month of March, we celebrate Women's History Month. Dare you to consider that every single day is Women's History Day because you are that history. I am that history. We all are that history. And every day you wake up and your feet touch the ground and you begin to move into your day, understand that you are the salt of the earth. Without the woman, and man, I mean, y'all okay, but without us, the world has no flavor. Consider that. The world has no flavor. The world cannot move on without women. Because had that been the case, God would have only created men. So, sister, or as my friend Stacy says, sister, I charge you today with celebrating womanhood, celebrating your history, celebrating all of the strides that you make in the world every single day, studying for that degree, starting that business, raising your children, creative and witty ideas. Celebrate it and get connected to a sisterhood that's going to celebrate with you, support with you, and shake you up and get you back on track again. So with that, I'm going to end. It was short, right? And like I always do, I love you. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I am One Authentic Woman, and I want to invite you to my Zoom dinner party that's happening next Friday. Follow me and get the details. I hope I'll be able to see you. It's going to be a pre-launch of my 6th book. We're going to have 6 great raffles. We're going to have a gift by Stacy Henry Carr, LLC, hypnotherapy session valued at $380. We're going to have a yoga session. That's going to be by Sacred Spaces Yoga. That class is valued at $200. We're going to have a skincare set from Just Like Candy, valued at $150. Charm candy. It's a hand-beaded charm bracelet valued at $70. One of my personal favorite things, because I have one, I think I'm going to start getting me some different sets. They are just so beautiful and one of a kind. We have Grills and Granola. They're doing their package is valued at $60. 3 sessions. You pick the sessions. And finally, we're going to have TME Enterprises. That's going to be their raffle gift is valued at $20. But the best thing about that is you can connect with some sisters, and everybody that comes to my pre-launch party gets a gift. So even if you do not win one of those raffle gifts, you're going to get a gift mailed from me and from one of the other sponsors. You can follow me on social media, or you can just enter in on your on the internet http://bit.ly/TO, and that's 0, I apologize, T020TC 60W. Or just follow me on social media and you'll see the link available. I hope you'll join me for the celebration of my new book, The Lady in Waiting, Posture of Preparation. Connect with some women to support your growth, to support your well-being. And I'm going to end for real like I always do. I love you. Be authentic. And thank you so much for spending these few minutes of your Saturday with me. Be super, super safe. I love you. Still be safe out here. Cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze. Wash your hands. The ultimate act of self-love is to take care of yourself. See you next time. Bye-bye.